Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Jets. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. But the Bengals had the remarkable run to the Super Bowl last year, but one team that gave them trouble were these New York Jets. You might remember back in Week 8, it was the Jets rallying behind backup Mike White, who threw for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns. And a 34-31 New York victory over the Bengals. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Play action. Now Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrick. His pass rush repertoire that time. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now Mond. He's going to look deep for more. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, they certainly took a shot to open this game. I know it backfired with the interception, but no lack of bravado from that sideline at all. And look, they told us before the ball game, they wanted to be a little more dangerous on offense. They wanted to take a few more chances. That opening pass certainly set a tone. Maybe a turnover, but I don't think it'll stop them from trying again the rest of this game.
A first carry for Samaje Perine, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On one, right?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
11. Stop.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
Here we go.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. This goes out wide from Mixon. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
11 MT tape. 11 MT tape. 11.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Mon looks to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Shot 17. Blue strike.
From the gun, here's Mon. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. On the move past the 40. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And I'll tell you what a bird's eye view I've got here because that was absolutely something else to watch. Not a lot of wiggle in that. That was catch it and go. And he used those wheels of his to absolute devastating effect.
Mon looks to throw on 1st down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
To try again after the sack. Mon toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop them here on 3rd down.
97.
Here's Mon. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 15.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. The tackle by Quincy Williams. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now it's Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Gun. Stop.
Mixon with a first down carry. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. He gets this one to Boyd. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first.
We ought to just keep this line on a loop because we say it so often. First down, Tyler Boyd. He's thrived in a high-volume role for the Cincinnati Bengals, averaging almost 80 catches and 950 yards a season over the last 4.
Here we go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that's caught one more time by Boyd. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Here we go.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And some room to work. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Here's Pirine. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Here we go.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Mixing up the middle. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
The question for Mixon was after an injury-riddled 2020. Would he be back to his old self in 2021? And not only was he back, he was even better. He set career highs across the board finished top 4 league-wide in yardage and touchdowns.
On one, ready? 12, 12, 12.
Back to Mixon on first down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Here we go.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Mixon. About 3 yards there to the 27.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Gun, gun.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
On 2.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Burrow. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. He's at the 40, the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a jet touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And you wonder, I mean, is it even possible, especially for the quarterback, to mentally reset after that quick of a turnaround?
Well, we're certainly going to find out, aren't we? Because that play will stay in your mind, but somehow you have to compartmentalize. Put it aside, pick yourself up, and get moving in the right direction. I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Oh, that's a big let off there on third down because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a first down, but for big yardage as well.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On 1, right?
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
11, 11, 11. 11 MT, tight. 11 MT, tight.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We've got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. 2nd and 11. Mon going to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD. Well, in a tight game like this, that could be an incredibly important pick 6, CD. And remember, it cancels out the one that the opposition had earlier in this ball game.
You're right about that, partner, because each side came up with plays to swing the momentum their way. Still plenty of time left for either team to come through with a win, though. Can someone else make a similar play and win it for their club?
So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mon. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They run right side with Hunt, and he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And taken right at the 35. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Bengals take over first and 10.
At their own 42-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's second and 3. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. Third and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward to get the first down.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will be from 49 yards out. McPherson's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And the half will begin with a touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 70 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Got a man open, it's Chase. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 40-yard line.
Gun. Stop. 11, Thomas. Stop.
Now it's Burrow. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50. 10 yards there and a Bengal first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
I'm wondering.
It's Mixon on the counter, and he is going to lose yardage here. And Oliver through the line and hitting him for the loss.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Burrow will throw to Mixon on the check down. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Inside handoff to Mixon. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
12.
second down. Here's Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 14. That one goes for 24 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Here we go.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads you into bigger errors.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Now Mon. That complete to the former Bengal, C.J. Uzomah.
So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Get ready.
Looking to throw on 2nd down.
Mon. That pass complete to Moore.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
No doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays to send receivers into the middle of the field. And linebackers, they want to naturally discourage those plays from being called.
They go play action here. Mon.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go, set. Red, cycle. Smash, head.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Mond. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the Bengals are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backups.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here we go.
Again, it's Mixon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. The run blitz there defensively is something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. From the gun, a give to Mixon. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, Bengals on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
11 mighty. 11 mighty. 11 Thomas.
A handoff to Mixon. A solid stiff arm. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 91 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
I'm fine, ready?
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Running left, it's Mixon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
11 MT. 11 MT.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And he's got it inside the 10. A big play there for Cincinnati. 53 yards. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw because that one hung up there for a long time. and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
Here we go.
And that one spanning and even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Mixon will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go.
Here we go.
But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
Mixon again.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Mixon
with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Bengals are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Sam Hubbard that time coming through defensively with reckless abandon.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And his throw here's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's Mon.
Throw left side complete. That's Hunt. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st and 10, here's Mon.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Ready.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Going red.
Back to the air, Mond.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteeing he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Let's go now.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Black ultra. Ready.
Mond looks to throw.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
On one, ready?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On one, ready?
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Back to Mixon on second down. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
11 mighty. 11 mighty.
Burrow looking to pass. And this one is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Ready?
Off the play fake, Mon. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Get set.
They hand off to their big tight end. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line.
Brought down by Ed Oliver.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cincinnati, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3.
And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.